Hi everybody. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible because it seems like the longer I make the videos, the harder it is to upload them. But I had another tornado dream last night, and it's been a long time, several years since I've had a tornado dream. The last time I had a tornado dream, and I have a video about it, it was people working in the church, and basically the message in the dream was that there's a storm coming and everybody needs to prepare. And so this is kind of how the dream went. It started on a river. It was a big river. A bunch of people were boating. They were swimming on the shore. I mean, it was crowded. There was people everywhere. Some were on kayaks, some were in canoes, some were in motorboats. But there was people all over, and it was almost like it was in a canyon. So it was like a river in a canyon, and all these people were just having a great time one day. And someone had said a tornado was coming, so everybody scrambled to shore. And then for some reason, the house that we currently live in just happened to be there on shore. So my husband and I and our little girl went into our house to take cover, as well as a ton of people that we didn't even know were trying to take cover in our house. Now, our house is solid brick, so we weren't too concerned when we got inside the house. And then we saw the storm coming, and oh, was it massive! It was a huge, huge tornado, and it wasn't just one tornado. We could look in the distance and you could see like 4 or 5 funnel clouds in a row coming straight at us. And my husband and I huddled together with our daughter and we started praying. Now, one thing you have to understand about our house is every room has like tons of windows. So we were trying to figure out, where are we going to go where there's no windows? Surely this many tornadoes is going to bust out every single window that there is. Just as we heard the wind coming, we my husband and I and my daughter went into the laundry room, which is a very, very tiny room, no windows, probably one of the most secure places in the house. And we went in there and we could hear people screaming and hollering, and there were people all in the house. And then we came out and we looked out a window because it was like right as the tornado passed by us. We looked out the window and we just watched this tornado level houses. But ours was still there. Pretty much the only damage done was all of the windows were blown out of the house. And, there were people hurt because of the glass and everything. But I mean, when we saw that house, just like, I mean, it just like flattened, like someone would step on a cardboard box, it just flattened the house like that. And everybody gasped and everything. So that was pretty much the end of my dream. And I started thinking about that dream and some of the meaning behind it. And basically, the biggest message I got out of that dream is the cornerstone and your foundation. Where's your foundation laid? Now, 1 Corinthians 3:11 says, "For no man can lay a foundation other than the one which is laid, which is Jesus Christ." Nowadays, you have a bunch of churches trying to lay a foundation into people. It sounds like religion, but they're not laying the true foundation of Jesus Christ, salvation through Jesus Christ. They're preaching the once saved, always saved, and this is incorrect. You cannot say a salvation prayer and then go live like a Dickens out in the world, talk however you were talking before, live however you were living before, and expect to still be that Christian. The Bible does talk about backsliding, and backsliding basically is you were saved by Jesus Christ, but then you started living in the world and you forgot Jesus and you backslid back into worldly living. And therefore, you are not righteous and you are not saved, and you need to come back and you need to ask for forgiveness for those sins. In a nutshell, is kind of pretty much what it is. So the stream was talking about the foundation. Everybody's out having a good time, doing whatever they want. and then a storm comes. And everybody runs into a house with a good foundation. So, everybody's running to the churches trying to find Jesus, but only certain ones who have Jesus straight in their heart are going to be the ones saved from the destruction, from any harm whatsoever. And then, of course, Isaiah 28:16 says, "Therefore, thus says the Lord God, Behold, I am laying in Zion a stone, a tested stone, a costly cornerstone for the foundation, firmly placed. He who believes in it will not be disturbed." So, in the dream, my husband and I and our little girl went into the laundry room, and we were completely unharmed at all. Now, when we came back out, there were people, with cuts and bruises, hurt. And there was actually some who perished during the storm as well. So you have to trust in the cornerstone, which is Jesus Christ, and that's what he's talking about. It was a prophecy of Jesus Christ, and you have to lay your foundation on that cornerstone of Jesus Christ. And if you don't have a firm foundation in him, then you're not living correctly for the Lord. And also kind of keep this in mind, there's going to be a lot of storms coming to America, a lot. Whether it's, storms from the heavens, whether it's storms on the earth, volcanoes, earthquakes, or whether it's financial storms, war, whatever it may be, because we really don't know. But we know that there is a storm coming. People are talking about it left and right. People are having visions and dreams about the storms coming to America. But just keep this in mind. When the whirlwind passes, the wicked is no more, but the righteous has an everlasting foundation, and that is Proverbs 10:25. So keep this in your mind, please. Have a relationship with Jesus Christ, a true and righteous relationship. Don't come into church and think that just because you're at church, you're saved. Don't come in saying, well, I saved the salvation prayer once and now I can do whatever I want. Don't think that you're saved. Not for a moment, please. When you truly have Jesus in your life and in your heart, you do everything possible that you can to make sure that you have a righteous relationship with Christ. Yes, we're all sinners, and yes, we mess up, and we'll do it daily, sometimes hourly. It just depends. But Jesus' grace is new every single day. So make sure that you stay right with Jesus.